Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and this is going to be the second vault opening for my Resto Druid here. Made some pretty good progress. Pretty much got every single dungeon done on a +2, although I pretty much forgot to record some of them, so I wasn't able to actually take notes and make plans for certain bosses, but I got a lot of that done anyways. So, I actually spent the dinars from last week on this Mr. Pick-Me-Up thing here. I didn't really do any research or anything like that. All I did was go under Raider.io, look at like the top 10 Resto Druids, and look at what trinkets they used. And pretty much every single one always had a Mr. Pick-Me-Up. So now I got one of these and a Signet. I also crafted a Mythtrack weapon, a 675 weapon. I didn't have enough of the currency, or actually I think I did this right before, I can't remember, but I didn't have enough of these Undermine crests in order to make it the next higher one up or something like that. But anyways, I got a weapon. We don't need one of those. I got my trinkets, unless I get a Mythtrack Mr. Pick-Me-Up, which I doubt. But yeah, after that, I pretty much got all this gear. I'm 653 now, so let's go ahead and just see what we get. I'm going with loot for balance for trinket or whatnot, but just like this one right here. Now, I don't know if soul-letting ruby is actually good for balance or not. That's something I'll have to look up. Let's see here. This is all really low. That's an appearance. We do have a hero track tier piece, and we also have a remnant of darkness here. I think the tier piece is probably going to be what's best for me. Give me 1 second here to try and look up some of the trinkets the top balanced druids use. Alright, so it turns out that neither of these trinkets are better than the one I already have. I mean, it would be an eye level upgrade, so maybe there might be a % or 2 there. But either way, considering that they're not very good, I think it's going to be best if we just meet the needs of both Resto Druid and Balance at the same time here. Giving ourselves this hero track helm. Which is going to be a while before we upgrade it, because I would rather be spending my crests on crafted gear, like replacing these boots and whatnot, things like that. But let's go ahead and see, or let me show you the progress of the Resto Druid.io. Alright, this is where we are. Whoops, I forgot to actually put it up. Here you go. So this is where we're at as far as Healer.io. We're at 1304. We've got all 2s, a few that are 2-chested, some that are 1-chested. I think this week my goal is going to be to start doing 3s and 4s. If I have 2-chested, I'm going to try a 4. If it's only a 1-chest, I'm going to try a 3. And if it's a run that I forgot to record some of these, so obviously I'm not going to be able to go back and look at notes for them. But if I do go back, I will go back. But when I do, I'll record them and take notes then. And for the ones that I've already taken notes on, my main goal is to just follow the healing notes. So I'm going to put my damage to the side for now. What that means is, if we look at this WoW OP score here, we can see that I've got a pretty decent healer score, but of course this is for the 2 to 6 range, so it's not like it really matters. Or I shouldn't say it's not like it matters. I should say that it's not like it really has that big of a weight. As you can see with balance, as soon as we crossed the 2 to 6 bracket, we almost halved our rating, or not our rating, but our parse number or whatever. So I pretty much just want to focus on practicing keeping people alive here with Resto Druid. But yeah. That is my progress there. I forgot to record everything. I plan on actually going through my recordings and actually making a video on explaining all the things of why I'm going to be doing what I'm doing in each run or whatever, kind of like a key review. I still have those, so that playlist will be linked at the end of this video, or even in the description. But all those videos are private, so you won't be bogged down with them. But anyways, I actually next want to see how much gold I earned this week. And you can see so far out of 100 out of 256 males, we've got 27,000 here. We're starting with 239,787, so let's just go ahead and open all mail. 230, I already forgot 230 something. I'll just say 237. Let's see what it ends up as. Alright, so as we could see from the TSM thing down on the bottom, or actually I think that's default Blizzard UI, we gained 74,643 gold this week. I can actually pay for my next month's sub, which is good. I was down to, I think, 11 days left or something like that. And we have a little bit left over to deal with transmogs and repairs, and life is looking pretty good. Maybe we'll actually be able to afford an enchant or something like that on this weapon or whatnot. But I do want to say that this was a little bit more than usual, since last week I took some time to just relax instead of farming for 30 minutes. Like, there was 3 days where instead of like popping one of these potions and going farming until it ran out, I just decided to watch TV or mess around and do other stuff like that. But anyways, that is that. That is the Resto Druid and whatnot. Now is actually when I want to show you guys my progress on the game, and I am actually really proud of where I'm at. So let's go ahead and get into that. I forgot, before we do, I wanted to point out my wax collection here. I know I have 694 wax here. When I get 1,000, I want to kind of do a little bonus thing where I see how much of a particular resource we get from one of the things or something like that. I'll have to do a little bit of research on one of my other characters. As you can see, some of them have some wax already. And I'm going to go ahead and figure out which one I think would be the best one to dump this 1,000 into, just to see how much gold I get. And I think that's all I wanted to share or show. I'm not quite sure. Oh, same with these seeds. So the last time I was collecting these seeds from farming, I got up to 500, and it took me a long time to put those down because people kept coming along and planting theirs, and it took a long time, and I kept getting seeds back. It was pretty wild. But anyways, I actually want to save up to yet again 1,000 on these ones as well. That one's going to take a long time, so don't expect that one to come anytime soon, but I am getting close on wax. So I will kind of give a tidbit on how much gold I make from 1,000 wax. Alright, so I don't remember exactly what my goals were last week for this, but I know I met them because I erased all of them. But that's the problem, is I erased them, so now I have no idea what goals I said to you guys last week. But I know it had something to do with tower health, so that way the enemies can attack the towers. It had something to do with a little bit about the UI. I got rid of the our base health in the upper right, and I made it a widget that will go above the what's it called, the base or whatever. You can see it. It's 3 little green bars over there, and it actually changes colors. So if you take damage once, or if you reach 2/3 of your health, it'll turn yellow. If you reach 1/3 of your health, it'll turn red, and each one of those will disappear appropriately. So like 3, 2, 1. Now we've got our points in the top left. You saw, I don't know if you saw, it started out at 400. When I put the tower down, I went down to 200. If I put another tower down, it goes down to 0. And then if I try to place another one, it won't let me. And I made the functionality where I could just right click and it'll stop the tower placement. I can't remember. Oh no, I can't do the escape key right now. I think in the editor, because I think the escape key closes the game. But either way, I made it so that way the enemies can attack our towers. And I'm pretty much doing like a polar opposite, where like these JD Vance ones that I'm putting down, these little brown ones, these ones have a short range instant attack. Oh no, I think I'm doing the exact same thing for the enemies, where I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I didn't fix the choppiness issue with OBS and whatnot, so I'm sorry if this gets really ugly as this starts to play out. But these guys basically are the same. Small tower, same as small tower. Big enemies are pretty much the same as... Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Let me just show you in the editor here. Alright, so we can see like this one here. I know you can't really see it from this view because of all the stupid things over it, but it's pretty much... Let's open up this viewport here. It's this tower here. It's our missile tower. And you can see its range. It does a projectile and it does heavy damage, but it itself will have low health. And then when we look at the other tower here, we got our turret tower, which is going to be the brown one, the one that you saw me putting down earlier. It has a very short range and it deals instantaneous rapid damage, but its damage is very low and its health is very high. The opposite, or it's actually, sorry, it's not opposite. I think I initially wanted it to be opposite, but I went with going the exact same route with the enemies. The enemies that have a longer range have low health, hit hard, and the enemies with short range hit low but hit fast. And so that's what's going on there. I got health systems for them. I don't know if you saw in the... Let me delete these so that we don't show up in the game. Let's go ahead and put these down real quick. But when my towers take damage, you'll see their little nameplates come up. I made it so the nameplates only show up when people are damaged and not just all the time, because I didn't want to be annoyed with that. But anyway, so I think I'm confusing myself, and I'm not actually. So pretty much my goals for next week is to actually make a tower UI where whenever I say put down this tower here and I right click on it while I don't have anything, or actually I just left click on it, or actually either one, I'll just do any click. It'll show the tower UI, and then from the little widget that I'll have above its head, I will have an option to heal the towers. I'll have an option to look at the tower level. I'll have an option to look at upgrading the tower if it's available. And I also want to add in placement restrictions. So I'm actually just going to use their... I don't think I'll use their range. I think I'll add a second collision around it and then set that to basically not allow these towers to be placed too close together. Because as of right now, if we just open this up, I can actually just put towers on top of towers just like this. And as you could probably tell, that it's a pretty big problem. So I'm going to need to add some sort of a restriction to do that. Now I do have a bonus goal where if I do make it through all of that, creating the little tower widget, healing, levels, upgrades, and restrictions, I want to add in the playable character. Now if you know how, I want to call this character kind of like the queen or something like that, where if you know like in chess, the queen pretty much is like your most powerful character, but it's not your most important. That's pretty much what I want to have, where this playable character just kind of floats above the map and you can attack with it, you can heal with it, and you can put it anywhere. I don't know, I think it would be kind of a neat idea. I want this character to be able to level up as well. Kind of like, think of it like your ultimate or something like that, your hero character. I think it would be kind of fun, tower defense with a hero character. But anyways, that's pretty much where we're at. Sorry about the end here. I probably could have wrapped this up in a very quick way, but I failed at that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week or in the private videos that you watch through the link to the playlist.